Hi guys, I'm Dion, and today I'm reviewing The Girl Who Beat ISIS by Farida Khalaf. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I got this book through NetGalley in exchange for an honest review. The Girl Who Beat ISIS is a non-fiction book about the war ISIS is raging in Kurdistan, Iraq and Syria. Our story follows Farida, which is a pseudonym, an 18-year-old girl from Iraq. She lives in a small town with her family in Kocho. She goes to school there, has a laugh with her friends, until ISIS starts roaming around. They get more and more scared, and her dad, who is a soldier, consoles her and says they won't get to here, they have nothing to do here. But soon enough, of course, ISIS comes to Kocho as well. We really follow Farida's life from this point on, as she's held captive by ISIS. We get to know like the inner workings of being held captive by ISIS men, and get a look into how the occupation of an area influences different people, and especially Farida, who fortunately survives this and is able to start her new life in Germany. So we follow Farida through the months that she's held captive, and this means we follow her through violence, rape, being sold as someone else's property, and so on. She talks in great detail about the precise circumstances she and other girls live in for the moment, how they were treated, how they were sold again and again like they were somebody else's property, as soon as the man didn't think they were interesting anymore. At the same time, we are made really aware of Farida's feelings as this story is told retrospectively. She doesn't know where her family is, if they're still alive, and these worries start to eat her up inside more and more as time goes by. The differences in religion are forced out of them, and though the girls we follow don't cave, it is very difficult to see that all this is done in the name of religion, because this is not a story, this is actually happening. And I think that realization is the most fundamental part of this book. It's also the most heavy thing to deal with, but there are really these moments where it strikes you like, oh fuck, this is not just a story, this is really happening. Farida represents many girls who are being held captive by ISIS men every day, and if we don't care about the number of deaths, how about the lives being ruined? There are no real downsides to the story I can describe. Farida's journey is a clear narrative, but if you are a more sensitive reader, I would say beware. Trigger warning for violence and rape is repeatedly talked about. Not in too much detail, but it gets mentioned a lot. So just beware of that. I think this is a very important story because we think we know what's happening in the world, but this really shows us a look inside Farida's head and makes it easier for us to really empathize and really understand how she must have been feeling at that time. So I think that's really important for people to understand what people are facing in the Middle East. I obviously gave The Girl Who Beat ISIS 5 out of 5 stars, and I honestly hope you will check it out as well. I hope you like this review, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!